Mr. Francis Medasi, me din de Kwabena Obeng Darko. Me go Pokwari School, me science and mathematics. Me call Kwame Nkrumah University, me engineering or agricultural engineering. And I me call Europe Koye bioprocess engineering. Me name a business or Ghana into your retail, fashion retail or Ghana or multiple places or more so Ghana. We are also into property development. Nti ACC a rent autonomy and a bit of construction engineering works as well. Me YouTube channel friend Obeng Darko on Facebook as well. And my book miensa barcode the perspective how to develop the mindset to start and build your business. Another one so Streamline how to teach yourself money. It talks about financial education, and then there's resilience, and also how to develop courage and strength as an entrepreneur. So no way many me uncle dia in so Sundays and Fridays for the last 2 years or Peace FM Mrantie no or Ghana no me say normal also mu na omutimi de bo mobra or my enti. That's a bit about me. Me name Marie, your mom, yes. Oh, and you think right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. You better say that is a hell of an introduction. I was just saying, I say, do Miss Obeng, that once a week, come on a car, and some people come into me cow. If you come back, sometimes it's better. Say you hear from the horse's own mouth. Wabobra ni pap just say what university what degree no be just say what bo kumchacha be say what bo PhD what bo fafa what bo tosca just what bo bibi asa kokro any abrofie ko sie ni asa ni bi e ho and I say no what be settle wo Ghana or the airboa now we say YouTube channel but your YouTube channel sa repeat YouTube channel no bi net here for
Obeng Darko YouTube channel they named Obeng Darko. Into Obeng Darko.
What do you do?
YouTube channel. Okay, entrepreneurship, personal development, financial education, or more personal property development. So your information be also and African dignity. It means that your back and then see we see and the positivity. Because me join say only your chrome phone be break kasa kasa nwie na chese dodo no ano he kra pese obetra Ghana ni biem ana se okuteska kra won fama ni patuntum because of information sebe ye ka kire ye ho no se ni panete Ghana so te abrochire normal e free yenum eba e fa ye ho no dodo no ano enhye nkran and me join say sa normal no ni nyina na information because what you hear is what you think about, and what you think about is what you become. And so the more I want negativity, the more now once any panai hopeless. And so no one being a church reports in it's amazing. And my name rantie even paying for more crash for I can see every send message. My kind book, my show video, my nyadwen foforo, my totomi no my ye. Me yen be grazi dan ka me se Ghana de me mother. And so my team normal mokikano, my dreams also me say try for and normal can be no.
Okay, thank you very much. There was something you said that caught my attention that na kamine say can repeat. We say what you say or what you speak is what you become. Ebusia?
Yes.
A very deep word. That is your first spirituality, African spirituality. Meaning we say we elaborate a little bit on that before even we tackle questions now. The reason I make us when you say yes, negativity and positivity. Kill negativity in kill Africa. Me kwasi broni kro. Obroni wako adwuma mu kra no asebon ne bia to no bisa no. I'm okay. I'm fine. Today has been a year. Obroni ko kase bibi just say ade ha no kro oda wo I'm okay. Minimo bia woda ye wo paswa wo na o smile. Na Africa there, what shall be no business. Maybe I say was say we are tasso. Aba, Who be said was or here and Quancomi. Let me be some say. Now, and some way you know for him. Why in the chair say? Sabi Yanka and some moon, and I said you a tear for money from Quasia someone at the same. Who taught her that? And somewhat just identity me person just that word now you see, you know. What you say is what you become. Young African spirituality. No. Now young because they didn't come out for Africa. Until what I need you to, further meaning say way out of the but just elaborate on that. Not a tear for just so
okay.
Thank you.
All right. Nipa wadwen no, dia wodwen no. Eno na edadi wa abrabo. Na dia wodwen no, information ya wonya, nsema wote, no ma wodi woni hu. Eno na wodwen ho every day. Na no na ba abrabo, eno na bo e wode bobra. Na se wote nsema ehye nkran, na ma wo hope said that chi bia no be ya eboa. Na wote nkugo nsem, wote the negatives every day. As yen no say normal no won say so ohwea osua history misua history pa obroni oba yekrom ha no omo de say omo be civilize ye enya no kore omo am civilize ye omo ba ye ne wo normal bebria na ye ya na ye papa na ye na mo bofo mo ne yekunkungungum nipa de say de omo kan history no yeti sese no te say de am roba bia ba ofie na wo be kuku nipa e wo ho wasesa wo normal na wo wie no wo de gya atom enti say wo evidence na wo hu and on was a cultural history story no for so by na mukunkum honti and that is the history I train say enti normally be bra broni ba ya also break you no so wo japade bebre mo ho oden mo nye nipa fon but the wo no hia and what try wontimi nya enti was okay and yes say no yem pek kwan bi so ne ma nkrofo we no mo nye mo ho ni mo fo mo ho nto fom yen ka job say bibi omo obi a enye enti na sebe uko school a otwi na wonim no udru school a yesi kwaka brofo mimi din Kwabena ko udru school a oso ko fabro ni din foforo eni se wo hye watade se wo hye kura ye ma ya ne bebre ayusu ne ye hye wivon na ye wo mpa ne ye pese ye tise bro ni nyina na ye design bi do no na school no mo de hye mu na nsore so wo tete ye no wo de hye mu enti wo hye a tuntum no sese no normal bebre a wo hu fa no ho no wonyini. In fact, America wo ho na wo se wo hwe TV a normal on be ya fa Ghana ho no nyina ye basa ya we krom ya enso normal so yeso ye be ya fa America ho ye fine it is a brand ne te ha DNT na wo so tena Ghana ha because bibia ya ka kire ni bia na America heaven. In fact obroni ba Ghana no wo se wo no nyame ne ene ne kwala ne nyina ye pe ti nyame ye broni asorobofo nyina ye abrofo wo no wo se tuntum no wo ne bonsam ye pe nti so hu tuntum hu bonsam picture tuntum hu friend say demons omu nyina ye tuntum ya sorry wo kwa atam ya ho ye nananom no mosom bosom ye de be som ye ho a wo na be kire ye sa ye wo bia oba ya ensem hunu a obe kire ye no na sa no ma we mu nyina is just the last 5,500 years na sa no ma we omo be ye but Africa no nye ne na wo ho thousands of years back into before so broni ba be twantro no ne nye nipa na se na ne nimhwia se benka yawu to buy a yetima trans services average se ne ni bi thousands of years before omoba me kan su say so west na nipa na achichire na ode ahye no the more woka no na ogidi na maybe Bill Gates to try bibi or see the poor Africa so under it I'm so just but if you continue to call us poor, when are we going to succeed? When are we going to be rich? When you continue to call us poor people underdeveloped? Ninyina technicalities are brofuni design ye omo de share come because omo nim the power of words. Who started offering growth is omo corrupt, bad leadership, backward people, unpolished. Omo kind of correct or only see a omo di sa no man omo continue. So it's a war of words. Now words no shape mindset. And to share the mind of our people. We don't trust ourselves and we don't believe in ourselves and we look down upon ourselves. And yet when we cross to the other side, broni de okano kore, broni de waika ni nyina, broni de onimnyansa, ni nyina ye wesa sebe, obi ne wivi en odi ashame, ni eso ye de yasom. Nti eno na ama the way you hu ewiase, and is hu ye ho. Eno. But me nyisa no mani yin. And obetima change sa no mana also sua bibi beyond the obroni aka. And nunti some of my books may deal with those things in it. So what you say with your word, with your mouth, and no my through mobile, or effect or so see who this is who we are.
Okay, that was deep. I was here, and I'm and so no, I'm going to give you a follow-up question before we go there because questions I didn't casapa you be cannot the young also. But in some year we be no, Mr. Obeda what the assembly ba. Mr. Obeda what the assembly ba a casapa. Then no, why cuz when you would have means I'm going to follow up on all those and make sure say you do justice to everything. Now, na ka wo call it me pese wo be sign a prescribed solution no. Ubuku no betima de edina sa to dabra wo kasa the next you know say how because me so me hwehwe mu no ma hunu say Ghana nipa omodi probably 50 years and above no and some say no ka ya na yo madwemo kesene nti me enen komo no pese ye focus on the younger generation no because wo mo na daache no e yo modia but as we say bisa na say enya mpase we omo ye corrupt if you say the reality is that what we are seeing what they Ghana want out you from dollar ya sebi what done we same boat say dollar na we same boat make dollar so penny ya dey amano na yebo hey me so we cause we say this cannot say hey we same boat kwa na say kwa retire but dollar no so dey was all retire we Ghana da it is they maybe say the reality on the ground Ghana for is you friend yanoma what they say to us and then one kasa free according to na Ghana nima do wani no it doesn't suggest otherwise enti na eno no emma abrofin sem ya omo kan no ekwa bi so no corruption so ma mefa eno enwie question no we Africa ye leadership no passion na ewo omumu eni sebi enema wose ko nimdia wose ko mo de esom baby e do akono bebre ya ya ma say ya mo kira na ekire so don't you think say it is right for people to make that conclusion. Is based on the evidence and the thing that people see. You know, it is okay. It's always okay because who does not catch it? Say, me yafu ya me yakrana. Me nkasa dabi me yamu ya me yabiya. Na me your friend say makum metrimu, but me nimse me yam ayam ya. No kura so de ne kano. A friend said that I was ya kanti wada roma. Chire woni mu na ye na obi nso a sabi ye ne ya say ya dum bi no. Ye nkwa be fa so ya dum bi. Thank you.
Asama me kai me nimse emu dodo no a no beka so excuse ye blame broni and ye mpanyifo no bebrete sa dodo no amekura ma tipemfo no bebrete sa sebe so bi ye doctor etite no obetima for medicine bi obeka ne din ba se pharmacist fa ne din a no wo ka wonim genti a etisa ansa ne din no kura waka yo words bi o how betima pronounce so and so on kasa na now history is that kind of subject na o share school na buy na the so-called because never ya school you did training and crop for me na do jafi wan go school that but obone bra sisi ne dan hwe ne ma Jessica no on to me train the interest me na any woman wonim or education but not the classroom now bronini ba award education ba no they use it as a weapon to break us. And the way I training Chinese are different. The way Arab for training are different. The way Broni training are different. Yeah, in training ya de my school no. Umbra na wo dwenti se Broni. The way na me na ye ne normal no na na nko se de ko school mu ne kire me. The way na mo fa so e kire mo busua, mo yo musikasem, mo didwa. The way na mo fa so yo mo queer. Oh, the way I know almost science, almost technology, ni nyina na ose ke kire ye. Mimi ko school no, Einstein na ye boni din. Faraday, Newton. Ya mo bibini bidin amaman teda. Na me pese mbisa se, na science no abrofo na de ba ya na. No, nya abrofo. No. Science, o she pyramids ya, e bi edi 5,000, 6,000 years na. Science no mo de ye. Sebe, we na namu nura no mo chechire na science. Kotimika se we minum we ase na beba. Na me kan susu say ye ka corruption. Ekrobia mu they saying that America for politicians are corrupt. It's a lie. The only thing is omo no ma hihye nte semra. Ye mranum corruption na mranum. Enti odwen say omo nye corrupt enye no correct. Obi a wo serious politician bi anim say politicians be bia nka no correct. Now, Africa no or see you so as scapegoat. Never forget, say, Oba Hano, was say yen design be a better so leaders crowd money that. Leaders, leaders, political leaders. It's something not today. Corruption, you cut to your so that. Now, political leadership na ye who say no. When it tete woman. And if I no go school. A dear near this catch room. Information many at the moment. Even government structure no cry running say no. Sebi, broni mayeno. Sa politics when democracy ni party no na ye running on, which is very expensive. Sana ni ye. America voko we say bebre for slaves run no nipa would find millions no mo ye juma for hundreds of years you will not be a poor country. England the same. Tons of your friends, trillions of gold almost for free Africa, particularly Ghana. Over the years of my store on to say country new run the so-called democracy. Country or monon ko we asen ko war enko fanko for no man famous so no man say enya musikan. How then do you tell them say every 4 years your elections? Now, dollar na by force was say or say you use dollar. Say dollar as a currency. When did it start? A weapon, any system or design here to keep themselves advantage. Companies say what Ghana to go to ne or your near and here for there. And yeah, young for there. In the Kwame Nkrumah case in 1957, Ghana and independence, you know. That was just the beginning. 1885, 84, on my partition in Africa. So America, 50, I don't know how many states in America, maybe 50 states or so. Let's assume that all the 50 states were independent countries with different government, different presidents, with different currencies, different passports, different immigration laws. Are we saying that America will be that prosperous? No. Africa is just like that. And structurally, we'll be in a design in it. Okay, almost say excuse. No, I'm a systems engineer. We are saying so far, literally. One tier is different from when you are studying the systems that run these things. Na duana na se duana nso abapa kohwe ne hini no ho na be hu se dia to duana na se dia to duana who si dan ya se foundation enya emfa ho de obesi wo so from abone boy ebebu. We should look at the foundation of the education we have, the foundation of even the way we think of ourselves, foundation of our religion, the foundation of the so-called democracy and government that we run, the foundation of the global financial structure. It is not designed for Africa to industrialize and to prosper. And nothing out here Abrofi Baha from 14 centuries. Legon is just about 72, 73 years. Kwame Nkrumah University is just about 70 something years. 70, the same. So technical education, no, say Kenya no krano. Omu decided say no, we should not give them science, technology, engineering. No. Yenchromo cooking, catering, literature, teaching. Because they knew say the other side now. Because remember, kono and will be intercepting growth. And what they are the phone shame. Because if in education no almost structure on the mind, this kind of education cannot help us to grow and develop because that it was not designed for us to develop. That's why thinking is so little. It does not matter ni pan so a professor and so a president and so a doctor. The ability to think to solve problems is not structurally, fundamentally, and yet part of education. And this is education. It's more or less a European education. It is not the way the Chinese are educating themselves. It's not the way the Africans are educating themselves. So you educate somebody, he comes out and what's the government system? I want to say where laws here are practicing common British common laws in the practice, but the culture of the people is different. You build the laws based on the culture of the people. You build the education based on the culture of the people. Everything must be built on the culture. I said you have fish every zoom now. Then I call you to fly. That is technical. That is what has happened to Africa. And so until the corruption and all those things that we complain about, they are just symptoms. What is the cause? It's the people who don't know who they are. Broken identity. And that is a fact. You know, that is a fact. And into the young Koma, you could scan the map foreigner, you could a contract the map foreigner. Me were foreigner, no mafia, ma would die. In the minister, and you know, person called America because America is what? It's land of opportunity. They had it. I mean, normally, you know, who say we no man be enkoye. Why? Because of the way we see ourselves. And the way we see ourselves are coming from the training, the family, the culture, the education, the religion, even. It's the same. Because what here, if any adwin say, nyame be mo ayeye. Wa nya adwuma want to tell ma ya obeye. Nipa no 24 hours what ya sorry them. Wo bom paye. Bibi to na wo se ne maame a wan ko school wo te ne ba bi dwene no ho no ntina bibi ato no. Normally bebre it make sense. And largely is because of the root. In Timeno or Africa, some men share fruit no. We share the root. And to social root now, obetiasi. Quite fast to see. Into corruption is our no man cano. Seven year quite a bokro no yano correct. Mr. Trump who accuse this government so we are election. And well, your president, Mindianoka. And he said, we are to see a shishano. Shishano. Say Bibinino for the last 500 years, colonization has not stopped. It's a lie. Even slavery just changed color. It's not stopped. Because how many Africans, whether Jamaicans or African Americans in America, own big companies in America? Tell me. And who person who may be a power war, and also person who may be a freedom war, look at those who are handling power and money. Because honey prevent ownership, wealth, property. Look at our people. How many of them have all these companies, whether they are from Ghana or Nigeria? How many are in politics in America? How many are owning billions? It's the same thing that is running. So we have to understand it. And there's a structure to make sure that Africa will industrialize it. IMF is part of it. UN is part of it. The World Bank is part of it. WTO, they are all the same thing. How comes the BBC, the Africa to in spite of any YouTube now by and then man for whom who say, that is not the full story. CNN will never show anything good about us. Look at American movies. They show all the good things about it. So the moment you control the minds of the people, you can control their direction. And that is what is happening. And the end I was but because the professor of philosophy, the professor of engineering, the professor of psychology from Kwame Nkrumah University, from Yale, from Legon, or Ghana, the content now, or expert, the content is not African. Therefore, the tools to challenge what the white man has said over the years is not there. And you can't simply say, oh no, we are giving excuses. No excuses. If you continue to blame us and say that we must be responsible, Nipani bleedy on the ground. Was the sorry etumrika. And want me sorry and tumrika, not just we lazy. No. Understand what has happened to the people, heal them, then they can get up and walk. Sebe, who's a mranti a fat desert so mranti o mu nipa o. Who's a nipa ne bebre ko ewu ho. But still almost on beko. It is the way they see themselves. And the way they believe that no matter what is in Europe, how worse it is better than their life. This is the people who have been broken at this point.
All right.
So we have to handle that.
Yeah, but that's the next question I'm going to ask you. So I think say not work at the head. Something very deep. Two deep say to me digress it now will come be about symptoms. I mean, the person can pay 20 and a table or you say corruption and maybe you a table you say I know they just symptoms that may just sign can see the actual thing one can somewhere you design and you know. Now can say be a manager your pass power as some kind. Sabi, maybe to consider the crew. And the crap can because the chroma away no. Even one more pain like Africa for my pain panel. Would the woman mean you be limit ya? Would the including your mansua. Ya woo crowd castle, no dear, ya walk and by a year no. 1 year citizen by assimilation, that's say, dear, you will be a free Africa. Maybe through maybe program beer, Quasibo Nidia to one, you will be added by a plan the other one had to so Nimpama, a yaw for a better to say, Ukrumu any, and as I am my man pay free. This time around, what I'm trying to say is, I'm afraid of one, they are in peril. Now, and no answer question T. Mammy, young go straight to question or not talk was it. Na a church net, sir, we know a man for any way no. Metesa was Saka, almost at the end of almost as a quasi and no material and ground say, Monsieur Yamagu. Monsieur Yamagu, Papa, and you work on a man. I'll tell you, I was a teacher. So,
okay.
Classroom. Yeah, here is Kwame. Kwame is a girl. Kwame is a boy. He is a boy. You know, Kofi is tamborebo abeba when it does it. And you must say, "Good seeing you now, Minia." Opening, say, Minia, yes, young Quasasam. Yes, a Wura. Wouldn't the answer because me go up the me say, with all the knowledge that I have, no. Say, but say, me use so applied knowledge, you know, and find me baby. What you mean? Now me lack that technical skills. In terms of the say, educational system, no, I'm the player. Now, look, how do you use capitalism? America, what practice it for so many years? I'm working for him. Now, be applied to Africa. In terms of the say, the basis of your argument, as you know, was culture. Now, culture is the way a group of people live. Culture is the real identity of people. Culture is how you can describe who group of people, I mean, the true identity of people, no. Hey, your first culture. Culture, yeah, who you are. At this time, no, sana upesa uchene eti for one motia. Eti abusia, ya mamra ni amani ni biwa ya tuwa guno. Mama yensai enkofa. If it's American say, openi omo, way tradition keep your follow Thanksgiving. Now the history behind Thanksgiving is said, I almost say, Quesco Koba Kuma say no. Columbus na yes we discover America, but I know the meaning say any true. If you say, how do you discover a continent which was already occupied by the Indians?
Yeah.
Because discovery means something that is hidden, nobody has ever seen it, or nobody has ever uncover it. You come in and you uncover what has been covered, and you term as a discovery. Now, when they open and open and so your history will go and say, yeah, discover baby. Until also through Hano. India for now from red Indians and I said Native Americans. What would you FSO? Native no so they yeah must now when you come fast over the muscle. What would they crow turkey and nobody has added. Now when you grow for the way you put on muscle we baby no moon say India for no one and this will be me some case will take over man because that was the main agenda so we take over man. And what they did was somebody could do I had a friend comforter. A friend said bearship ne mu nipi. And omudi bibi egu ho enti omudi ma India fo ise omfa ne da no na kire se o wa na yare abo wo da one of September ti member wo mu nyina and this sawa e ma enkofo itimi ko ya omutimi edi India for the natives were very strong because this was their abode na omunim how to survive e wo hase na enunti ye komponi bana bi o ye se ye das Thanksgiving November bi ya you didn't know the last Thursday of every November afi enche beba opinion am si eduru awa eduru sabre no ye wotem bi odidi na eduru sabre no wonam kwan so a se wo kwa adwuma ja ye ni Africa fo a ye bedi pai no ene eduru a wo hia so ma beda wo e se wo kwa adwuma na obi atifie you anoma background mu se onam ekwa ho akro eduru sabre no akro fa wo krom ha omu nyina obi atime fi edi bebi etesa ento mo cherish those things no. Now this is their culture, this is their tradition. But unfortunately, on our side, you say, Nema, in terms they say, also, or do not know, say, Koswana Koso. Now, baby, say, OGB, now, when you say their collaboration, they ever. Look, OGB, they say, no matter what your ideology may be, you can still be whoever you want to be or do whatever you want to do and see it much where we agree because we believe in the idea of what say, who you can in Assam. And to my next question, one question, and let me read from here. Was say, kids born in Africa are desperate to take higher risk for greener pastures. What causes this problem and provide solution? And just saying that say, everybody is, some of them can say the reason here, training donors, Akwabia, why glass and crown, why popular in say, a gun of form not be a woman say, and some of can. Ne omo gan said you must see ehun omo no akwana se no kan issue to them but America the person can when if it is will be on say nothing is free in America if we say you got capitalism you say ubaya juma no but you put it in the system openi say me adwuma at the end of the day Mesika minya ewa amanone no, including every Ghanaian be what America no. And you only 1/3 and I be to save. Now 1/3 no, and you will save one another because a dying car be here. Apartment I would timono, a parking lot would tears our parking. A corner one answer. I feel so if be property tax. What can I would not ask what is no, you would do it to your a Juma woman, a Juma no, our company now we a woman. Baby, I'll be packing a car. Who I feel no, you will say, Tia, they are more parking permit, including apartment I would timo. And to almost everything I hear our Britain. Number one is taxable and free. In America, nothing is free. Two, second way the system have been designed to say a could be also. At least a move Zanamika say or how much Ubenya maybe or man 90%. Now we are dreamer, what do a ding and much is sorry any alarm when you move just your first 10%. Into 10% in a movie and any money for you and make kind of be actually for say or be 8 years and now where's happening was similar what's what you on for a country I'm to that. Now will be also $10,000 a month and say I'm passing 10,000 out of the house no more. At the end of the month, no 10,000 to opening Katisana Kain and Kobinas Kakaina Kobia Ebricatim Abagana. The recent year will be better Brutina, on to me calling crop at once and I say no. Intimacy say Yamofrano and Nasa Yamantiano. Essay one more day Biaso. They will go and they will see greener pastures. It doesn't matter of the dangers. Now, some of you question, I said, I want to say, video be a man telling me, almost some go picking up. I said, show, the only when you hear your friends is crazy. Maybe beside say, a D and Depan and Crofwin said, this is what is happening. Will be on Saturday with you, as I see that, and yet, you will be a Saturday Yajin or Colivia, or go for exactly the same route. Over South America, how you walk, baby, a friend of Darian Cup. From Colombia, no mafa Panama, Canal Bimu, Sa no Oman Nemua de Mexico. No between Mexico, a hawk, and I know what I'm at about United States has said. As a said, why would people risk their life for all these things? Now, you know what the courses, which is the wine, and then also prescribed solution. But the floor is for you.
Okay. I know but a chakosi so say a kwaya nipa no Africa for ni you know we a Morocco you know yes only Africans but really only Africans only Arabs you know and Africa no we African free my baby abekobiano because of the abrofonidi kan especially Europeans and Americans our use media particularly TV and movies they spread a bad image about us around the world. Oko China, Kurasi baby Kurana, or Jane Sao Babetran, free him. Oko England, the Kurasi baby or no crown, no honsono, or Jane said big on an imsino. It is obiti krumha, the same conditioning, the same problem. Yes, there are things also politicians near your leaderships, and the leadership must do. But at the same time, I think it's more of the way I hear. And yen shedam NC Nijina say or say yet and crofone no mote we asena say na omojo mohudi. That is a major problem. Sebe we mo kra de say omo yamranti omo ni hwe. By your doctor for how be turn ne dan akoye nurse for America. Your engineers or be jai de o bia wo ha akoye security or England. Because of the propaganda, the branding of the West. You know, the way you honor. It is a say no mranti, you know, Udrin says, or Mudrin say, Udruho, na hot to say Ghana and Nigeria. And come on faster than a songo. And go on quota. Udrin so Udruho any problem united. I solve. And it is the miseducation. That is the main thing. Obibekasi iska enyeska. Some of them, who are $10,000 in the pockets this year. I would order call. Obu 50,000, Obu 100,000. Sabe, the brave was come. Send into me faka. But the problem is the way you hear. And education on yet just kind. And yen shoot two abrofone down. And I yen shoot two if you ask baby down. You say, oh, yeah. Esna. Sabe, a president, a president for Africa, no Casa. What yen penny for our mujino, I mean, what TV? Omo makotena tena brochire kasa. Ye exalted. Oh, bibi se twene gina ho na okasa ensema wo kan. Sebe mpanyifo ne bebre a wo senke kasa we dangerous so say shoot ne down. Wo se boy we ye che no. Ye nye da. Enti effect no no. Na nya twene na start ye we akọ ho a che and it's because of the training. Me go school ha no. Onwie no na wo gidi se ha no kwa no opportunity bi ania. Obi an shedan kan kire wo se opportunity wo ha na sebe enoma na wo se kire oye. We mu nyina mu no sika a lack of financial education and intina mana basa. Nipa no kuta 5,000 Ghana cedis. O dwen so ntimi mfa nya hwe. O mu no se na waka no so 1/3 e de betima save sika papa bi wo America. 1/3 now you live on the 1/3 of the income that comes. Which means that most people will tell you, oh, I make £2,000 in England every month. But 1/3 is what they live on. And out of the 1/3, you know, obesan save. So, and so obi be catch oh me buy no matimi abesi dan me nsa wa hanti akora ne te ha so odo banche wo mu odo abura wo mu otono no mo nti so onim say you starting na obetimi aye bibi and me dwen say se betima combat sa no ma we mu a serious re-education, especially financial education, any proper history of Africa, any proper understanding of what goes on around the world, so that when him say what here obiti Benjia onye better than him. What here ubiti kata onye better than him. Some of my videos echo viral on Facebook. Oh, how about say no be free kata no send a message. Obi England no send a message. Obi America no send a message. And message din nyina say me pese me back na be bibi. Then I was say me ye. Me buy no who say entesa. Me ye adwuma nko a me ni life bia me sora me ti adwuma mu saa. Obi okra so onye kakra ho, but onhu ba bi onfa sika no kra nyere. Emfa. Me gyense ni nyina no eye noma bebraye no yente no ma no bebra asesa e noma no bebra ho yente ase yente sika ase na superstitions so doso ene yadwen se obi a yesene yen ya kachi enti kakra kra ye wono ye ni nso si yetimi bomoden ye bibi kra ye ni nso wo Ghana ha ena sebe ya mema abrofo ne China ne India for so too much eno ena ama na twa e bedu samri me just say it's more of information because only proper information as no ma we obi a be bi. Especially we mu no wo mu asebe wo mu wie maybe JSS or SS downwards. University for no be the same way, but wo mu no mo mfasere so. Wo mu ka kopa visa no mako, but it's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing. Obi ka kire me say wo ko Germany a bebre ko school akese opoku are prempe mfasepem wo mu wie university wa no mo so mo ka masters. We wie masters ni wie a the system is said that bebre nya adwuma papa bi anye. And they say no maka ho because almost Ghana dey part the woman. Information. And it was a call for how to live in Ghana here and become successful. Because economies are different economies. The economy is not debt economy. And there's all people sit there, just occupy usika, person talk, just occupy usika, person go school, just occupy usika. A lot of these other economies are debt driven. You have mortgage, you have car loan. But oh yeah, Juma, the moment you lose your Juma no, it borders on online say o car no ye beje fruit and I say o house no ye beje fruit. So the difference is that e bi mo koye adwuma ba bi omunya bosia na dem mo ye nya bi ti kakra ba ye no aye de no hye ne ye na ho na me say ya ka chi kakra akonto de obi a me ko ba bi obusua bibi eye ba say wo ka say man kwa me nye ye ti kwan bi a mefa so free a me ko no ho na kire se ni pa no oni ntase bebre and do no ani ntase they do no ani ntase. But it's also because of the negativity. The negativity is heightened and no effect. And
okay. Yo, Mr. Obeng, I'm just going to give you a follow-up question on that. Now, the argument I want to put right with you, just pushing it to the wall. Also, introduction, we will say, also, what to find it. And he said, the air camp of me. Producer, if we have the photo, no, per se, you photo into. Now, you share near a penty war, Africa for no dream. And I said, Nkwalano, or more, you know, Producer Aroma, if you can put up the photo on the screen so that Mr. Obeng Darko can see. And then we will know as we're talking about why people, okay, now, thank you. Now, what I want Mr. Obeng Darko, now look very carefully at what you're saying, okay, on the screen. Picture that tells a story. Share Africa, share Europe. Now, this is why A man tell me who say omo ye no. Womo eko akoye niema eko. Because you will good. Africa is one of the most richest continent in the whole world. Because Africa, and the richest continent here. I think in Africa, the only continent here. It is the most exploited continent in the whole of this universe. Or maybe also, as I see was you, almost all the developed countries, for Africa. Talk about the Chinese, the Europeans, the Americans. And from one of them, Africa. So, it is a real picture here. One will say, the producer put it back again. I wanted to watch it the second time again. Probably he's one of then I have come make sure the entire I'm not telling person omukon. What is the petty or oma dream? I'm not telling who say this is why we have to go and raise our life. People can also make counter argument because me the one the example say one so what to plan go hobby. Now when him say the money there, I don't know what they want to work. Now we catch them for say that when I didn't na here. Until Mr. Bena Guadaruma. Mr. Adia contrast him say, I have to push you. Senator, you come up with ABM. What is your take based on this image? Would when you say, Abramtia was arguing with Ewan Tribunal. How do you convince them? And that is the reality. If you think that I'm lying, go to my two a Ghana. And why? Ghana's treaty penny good. Was it Abrof better of Mesa? Would be added coy. Since coming from town, and I did before coming from town. I don't want to go more. I want to know answer. I cost one. I don't know any to go to where you grow. Yet the intimate any good a friend say. Reserve away promo. Let's see a channel. Baby, the book is carried. What are my same idea? And I think was a montiasi to Tobos, not teachable. Thank you.
What's a me call Medase? What's a me call a bridge school? I'm going. No crown or maybe to say, what's a make us say. Or more call up to SS, a lot of them will dare to go through the desert. Maybe we invest, me visa. Me, I'm in Papa America, actually. We are citizens. So, me person, me citizen, come, me na say there be person bomb me brawa or Ghana. I'm to Seattle.
Okay.
Because Raw mono, me show her, me use there be, me intimate with her. Me join say gifting talent and one. It will be easier in Ghana. And me them, me join myself more. Or more to say me Sabi me no the same image na mu ye na me dwen America ye na me dwen Europe ye me call England me call other countries or Europe the same thing me to no me hu said entesa and man ko pesika wo ho na me back na school am call ye no kra no school am dwen say here say need minim ya ankasa school nka me ko because information me the man no the ba ha nye ye in fact nye the best thing is say ukọ a uhu ntro abrofo atwa uhu ni easily.
Okay.
Na utinu atwadwe kakra bi na bakrom ha obeyeye because they say no James abroche no nkobie enti die biem na wo say oye na picture na order to ho no mining companies okrom ha oil companies no these companies European companies Europeans na running Americans na running president gas obetwitwa contract mu sesi a be yasem America for the tour
why opening part of why why would your friend say our leaders do that? Not young citizens, because look, as my weekend. Now, producer, put the picture up again. Wait, look, but the percent here for it. Look, today we need to really get to the bottom of this nonsense. Now, it's here for Africa and the Europe. Mr. Bena, what's my weekend? Can I say companies now Africa and Ghana to be specific? Majority or most of them, your friend say, foreigners, any of them are woman. Send you more pictures. Say, why?
Identity. So, Sabi, Ghana no 1957 na Kwame Nkrumah so year no. 1860 something or 18 something or 1884 mo chiche mu na Britain. Ghana could be Britain se mu na almost so mo ebesi ne no. Sa de no change yo. Abrofo na ye no mo wiase ye ni mo suban. Infrastructure and systems or modia 2 years no se ba o monko na so modi ye ne ye hu o we are million and or 1,000 via bro no the adada and no na ekoso e greed is greed from the west. It's not so much greed from African leaders because there are a lot of African leaders o ma bom modern ye ku omo ye tu omo just a small mistake o take you out. Look at a lot of great African leaders through who will sponsor them. After all, 1 and 2 Kwame Nkrumah free. It's not CIA. Sebe on the mistakes. But Nkrumah twice so maybe Nkrumah correct him. Can Nkrumah do so 20 years? Can no man be bring a free so you two know the next 1 month now IMF next organization you have some more be Magana alone. Nkrumah has one. Concessions in the contract here.
What Kwame Nkrumah just say Kotokano ne Anka no ne a FIFA no.
There was no way or more expertise, you know. Or more expertise, you know, can't mean to know. Omunya support from all these organizations.
And to can but almost say so can because in reality, no, I know say these guys did the actual work when Nkrumah was away. When in 66,
I will not put it that way. No.
Okay, put it in a way you think you know. Senator for
I will not put it that way because I know night 10 be I don't say. Yeah, I blame na my home. Yeah, I blame na my home. Yeah, I say yeah. But could be free and one kojina massa. Yeah, they about could be free mum. So almost so many any papa said any papa na. I don't know so munya or monko. No more and two more. Why did you have to come in? Because if fear be a man, they are being mensa view. That the fact that some mensa view woman in Chester will know super. Because let's face it, they have the military power over us. Some person is here is America, Britain, France. Some person will capture Ghana. Says here, we have no say. Your weapons were even. And that was it. If they are against you, they will take you out, and that's a fact. We should know that. So that the only reason I'm call Russia, for instance, is what? It's because Russia is delicate for them. They have nuclear weapon. If they dare, he will throw it. And into no call military power benio. So that strategically weakens you. And it's almost they will use this or they will come directly and take it. Embassies Ghana. All these embassies, the way they treat our politicians, you'll be shocked. If there's a contract that they want, their people want, and you decide not to give it to them, all the sanctions they will come up with, to be shocked. So that is the position of Africa. It's still a weak position. Let's face it. It does not mean saying to me, you beat my ADP, but on a grand scheme, a weak. If China were to be like Ghana size, they will go there and take everything. So what treasure, but then we need tools, we need power, we need protect him. And to be our power to be an creative story. No, that is not an excuse, but we have to understand it. Doctor, there should be proper explanation why you are sick. Then you can look for the solution. But whenever you are trying to explain, then they say we are coming out with excuses. It's not an excuse. Strategically, fundamentally, we are in a weak position. We are in a weak position. And a lot of the things some push on us, push, it's because they have some advantage over us. Kwame Nkrumah, they took him out. It's not in Ankara, they took him out. They trained them. They brought them money, weapons. I did a Gaddafi. You don't tell me it's a Gaddafi or Nkrumah. So that's it. Anybody who tries to do well for us, they will come because there's always a weakness somewhere. You know? So maybe the position is there. Maybe position is there. So kind of correct. Now you are for equity, fairness, human rights, and then let's say it that way. But you don't say it with your mouth and practice another thing. Because we don't really, Africa's problem is that we don't understand the people we deal with. From top to bottom. Just like an animal. Obviously, it's there. They are being treated like animals. Animals are even treated better than the African.
Yes.
You know, and these are the facts that we must embrace. But effort to that. Yeah, what did we do to partition Africa? What contribution did we do? Where? See the na share or more the dollar no move music. We contribution again. And to say your normal way, but on the ground scheme, there's a lot that is going on that we must understand. And they the powers that run this world, they go for money and they go for power. If you cross them, they'll kill you. And that's a fact. So, where Mugabe. Look at Zimbabwe now. So it really does not matter whether you're doing well or you're not doing well. If you cross them, that's a fact. Who America ho? Look at Floyd. Police officer. And he didn't blink. That's the system. And this same system is running everywhere in the world. You know, so sometimes your political leadership, no, they are just there as an excuse so that we can blame them. But the systems that run, it will take a while. And so indeed, you'll be free, you're free. You know, indeed, you'll be free, and you're free. And education on this, our leaders, plus the systems that run, it will take a while. It will take a while before we can stand to say that we are people with our own destiny. It will take a while.
Right. It's here for Mr. Obeng Darko, Kwabena Obeng Darko, and some no engineer the community by every year. We bring a what my things about African spirituality. He has given us the pros and the cons. You be some, you be a far didn't tell you, not no airport, Europe. To say they are willing to take any risk, whether Ghana will take it for do or die. When you order be done, we say do or die. It does obey and as obey. And you know, let us say some but what did you number? Say there's only one way. Say you discover our true identity. Let us all come together, and with that is the only way we can fight those things. You know. My next question will also be where you woman from Africa. Into Yanko and Kwalaya woman Almonane. Yenum be Aba, a Bewu Kwalawa. It be American citizens, it be European citizens, it be your friends, British citizens and stuff. Some Kwalana so yeah, one most interested kids born in diaspora are in peril. That is, they've lost their identity. Now, so here is the kicker. What role must parents play to help them or the kids to contribute to Africa's development? Opening, I'm afraid I want to say no media a control na monte. Now I will speak to near my wahase. And probably we wish yam. And number one, who can ukrom kasa children or say until ukrom kasa. Me Christo ni me kwasore me chade o Sunday school. Edru kwasiada na wo church and kwala especially ye ba Africa nema because mostly me take opportunity no. And ye Bible no wasam no nko a because Bible no wasam baby wa a history. And I perform wasam and the woman. And to take that opportunity no just to talk to them about Africa and Ghana to be specific. That is the kind of education me personally passing to them. But so Kasana would the tree no be at least about 95 or 99% of Emofrano that will be a wedding. Adenia, as a kind of one take. Or we be near on take Nukrum Kasa. And you will share other nationalities to say Pakistani, Indians, Spanish. Na omo de omo kasa omo Spanish ni abetra krom say na ne ba no wona netia wakofa de maame aba ana no onte e brofo no nti akora no et Spanish nti ye ko ba bia no not translate kasa no actually this happens now and then but Ghana body just say ye Ghana for ye ko hia mu no ye Ghana ni a wote abrotire no anwo ho ase ne ba no kasa oni asset na woka aresha ngotomre no possible need enemy America had you know ye kasa ti no na ye yie fremu ye kan water is water no me ade na ye yie fremu no eno Ghana ni ne ba okasa no ye no na ni achi asebusa bi bisa nyane se enkola no wo munyini so koduru ba bia wo ko school koduru ba bi do na position bi wasen kan nsaka no na America bo kwasikoko na system e wo aha no a kire me se wo wasini. A typical example, Kamala Harris, where vice president of current vice president. What we say, yeah, me accent say, oh papa, you say, oh mommy, you say. I didn't tell you the Ebata. Obama Basso, they did the same thing. Sabio, Oman Penny Biden, I was also a European American. because some America for almost history that the Americas, one more friend, a one friend, American best schools to the one man or bar. One more your friends and before, almost for Europe. And almost China because of high taxes and on the Bahasi. But none of them ever say, ye can be, they identify or more. Ye can say, way Irish American. But a true yang to for Sina describe a young Kwabena. Now, the money who say, who compared to my America Satiswa. A woman occupying, you be say, race by and I will, as one became, or be a woman, meaning Europe, but America cannot attest to American system. Near just a race, near white, Asian American, Indian American, black, again, black or African American. Ye the old Cromano, a two for them quite the first Omuni Omuchino. Into your man who school not a few more degree, you know. What be through your friend saying, what do you call it? Some peppers one. I feel now, I can't be say, who am I? Where am I from? Now, I can't get an identity. I feel no confused. Now, you walk, say from since 1980, I be do something no casino. At least, you bring a very good sizable amount of emofra. Yeah, because before 90s, now Africa for number, now winning crater. But way back in the 1980s, 1990, and America, I made the American example. We introduced what they DV, diversity lottery. America, they kind of diversity lottery. America, before America was saying, I don't know, many team of them, diversity lottery. Okay. Now, diversity lotto. Lotto. And now, what buy Africa, I say, better to American lotto, no. Emma be anything in an air coso. Until who abandoned the Albedro not who could crata. Some of them is about no fire money, or be a fire money, mammy, or be a fire Nikuno, and Naniba. No, Muswaba, until Oba, or legal documentation. Name the other, says America, they come as a Ghana for, baby, this is Virginia, baby, this is Georgia, baby, this is Worcester, baby, this is New York. A brilliant boy, you walk a very sizable amount of Ghanaians or even Worcester Prade, Ghana need the Echo Standing Mayo. Yeah, Nanka, open. You come baby to say, baby, you come Floyd, you know, me Kai State, no, Minnesota, Somalia for, Africa for women, population at also. And now, what to me, at two about, I'm a US Congress. Yenya, Congresswoman be a friend. And your friend say, Ilhan Umar, our Somalia. The first Somalian is a US House of Representatives. But a boy and a meeting into your money, baby, open it. Yeah, oh my, Omuntimi Kayakasa. Ye me and the Omuni. And baby, go to system. No, I can come. I check what was say. Who Ghana was free. Into assembly man, I go pay her near the other air target. Position of the maybe pay your experience. What role should parent play overseas to contribute so that these kids can know their identity and also so that this case, and then I over catching up with Omutia, so the Brafuna framework, because it is so take.
Okay.
I was omit to me, and Omuninti, a BSCOs, a bit of Africa. What hour? Thank you.
All right. The fact is that once you are history now, so no more way I won't tell you. Na you free Ghana no history no ya so Ghanaians, Nigerians, especially West Africans, or maybe entire Africa, we know culture, but we don't know the African consciousness. Our depth of history goes just from maybe slavery and colonization. And when you start history,
Penny, Jinawa, was repeated word video. Was it we know what culture and we don't know not to what's it on assembly.
They say you need culture
and what?
You need consciousness as a race. And Ushia Obia or me Fikumasa Bantama na or Sakete no fragment toma no yusu. Because or doing saying skin to or culture, but only consciousness. Because or said the moment I will be raising Brony and then a normal say yes and what you don't have an African identity. And the identity is from the consciousness and it's data backed. A data is not like obesio, a data backed, and that comes from that's why the Greek civilization. You see how they start a lot of things from the Greek civilization, but the Greeks were taught by the Africans. So history in Africans, the Greeks, and all the achievement, the scientific achievement of the Africans, the great achievement of the Africans, they cut them. So we are African, let's say Ghanaian, Nigerian, now America, now Obano want take us and we need this memory. That time be our Africa is when we came to meet the Europeans. Slavery, colonization, you will be a weak person. And without that consciousness, there's no identity and there will not be any freedom. And you cannot fight the white because then they will always refer to you as a slave or as somebody that they colonize, even though they did not colonize everywhere. As a matter of fact, by 1900, by the time that they sat at the Berlin Wall, only 10% of Africa was under their control because they were afraid to enter the forest. They were on the coastal belt. It's only when they did that, then through those organizations, they were able to so-called capture some bit of Africa. And so once you are history, then you'll be a weak person in Africa. It does not matter whether you're America or you're when their first constitution was established, Africans were not human beings. Never forget that. And it's still in the blood of America. First constitution, they were not human beings. They were not counted as humans. Into a lot of innovations near the African. A lot of the innovations.
I feel like I was shocked.
No, just check your first constitution. Africans were not human beings. At the establishment, when they were establishing America, Africans were not considered as human beings. You could not even go to court and say something against the white man. Study the history there so that you will know.
Okay.
America has gone through a lot of processes, but the color has changed. But the systems that run America will take a while for them to see us as full human beings and allow us, just as you said, the vice president, anytime you come up, they would pull those strings because for them, Africans were captured. But that is not the entire truth. It's not like everybody there was a slave or every country in Africa was colonized. That's not true. And for instance, the Ashantis fought them and won a lot of wars against them. So the Fantis, the same, they fought. It's not like we were weak people. So you need to teach these young people that you come from Ghana. You may have been born in America. Be there, be proud American, but go and study the history. Because without the history, you have no identity. And if you don't have any identity, you have no strength. And if you don't have no strength, you cannot fight that system. Because that system was built to see you as nobody. And that's why you go to England, it's the same. The world will evolve, all right. By the turn of this century, maybe half of America will not be, will be Africans or the others. Half of the world will be Africans, actually. So eventually it will change. But the moment, maybe in your lifetime, it's not going to change. So study the history. And don't start to deny it and say that it has changed. It's not changed. Why did it have to be news for Obama to become a president? Was he not a human being? He was a human being. But the problem was that the world does not see him as a full human being. Especially the world as projected by Europeans and white people, and the same thing has affected even Indians as well. Indians don't see blacks as human beings. The top fair-colored Indians, the iron people, they don't see us as human beings. Do you see it? You look at the caste system in India. The downtrodden, the bottom is skin. And they have even put religion on that. They have put religion on that. So the memory, that which will help you is the right history. And it's not just the one that started in 14th century or 15th century. It's the one that goes beyond that so that you look for the heroes, the empires, the kingdoms that the Africans run, their contribution in science and technology over the last 5,000 years. And being proud, say, I come from Ghana. You have to learn the language. That's why the African Americans who are very comfortable and not frustrated by the system in America are very comfortable as Africans. Look at it very well. They may not even have direct family now, but they still see themselves as Africans. And they embrace it. They don't fight it. So the moment you fight your heritage, you're a frustrated human being. And the other people will not accept you because you're not white. So be comfortable. I'm a Chinese. The Chinese is not trying to be white. He's a Chinese, but he's American. So you have to say that I'm a Ghanaian, I'm an African, but I'm here, and I'm proud of my heritage. If you don't do that, you cannot even become great in America. Why? Because when you go there, the system will push you back, and that which you will lean on will be your strength in your identity, in your heritage, that you cast back and you don't see yourself as a slave or as a colonized people, but as a great people coming from great continent, great empires. For instance, say your Wobi now or your Hineba. Now, all along, he didn't know that he came from, let's say, the Asante Kingdom. The moment you tell that person that, oh no, your grandfather was the king of Asante, that person's perception will change. You will see himself as a great person. So the memory you have is so key of your greatness. So never compromise that. Unfortunately, the kind of education you are given in America will not give you this. It is constantly telling you are nothing. And so when they grow, they will have nothing to fight with. And that is the reality. But the moment they establish their identity, no matter the hindrances that the system pushes on them, they can fight and win. Because then you are not afraid. You understand how they behave and why they behave the way they behave. And when they tell you that you have not achieved anything, you know that is a lie, because a lot of things that you have achieved. The Africans, Plato said something. He said that the Africans are giving the world science, arithmetic, geometry. Plato said that. Before Christ. This is like 5 centuries before Christ. He said that.
Yeah.
So who gave us mathematics, science? Go and find that. The Ghana Empire between 300 AD and 1000 AD. It was an empire. They were mining gold. Maybe 2 million people lived there. They had science. They had their own currency. They had their own hospitals. They lived like human beings. The Mali Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Ashanti Kingdom fought the British several times. Study those things. Because the world has been designed to constantly tell the African that you are nothing. And never embrace that. Never embrace that. And the moment you connect with this history, you can fight and become anything that you want to be wherever that you are. After America was built. So you see, in this world, if you don't have an identity, then anybody else can push you. Somebody said that the Africans are like somebody who had an accident and lost every memory that they had about their greatness. So they went into amnesia, and that is what has been. So a lot of our people, it does not matter whether they are doctors, lawyers, engineers, the education that we've been given is been built in the absence of our dignity and our identity. So we are trying to capture the identity of some other people, and mainly is European. And the easiest way for you to overcome any people is not to teach them their greatness in their history. Then they have nothing to fall on. And so the one in America who's born as a Ghanaian, if you think that your life began in America, you are weak, they will push you and you become nothing. So what Africa is how they define you. So whether you were there or you're not there, it really does not matter. For them, when they see you, that's why if you carry my name as Darko in America, they will ask you, where do you come from? Because in them, the hegemony is European. The world is European. The first time I was in America, I heard of minority. I was like, oh, why do you call a people minority? Well, from that, what do you call somebody minority? And who is majority? Because in Ghana, we don't call anybody minority.
Yes.
So your humanity is taken from you constantly so there's serious microaggression, there's identity crisis, you're not proud of yourself, you're trying to live up to a certain, but it's not really you because there's frustration. That's not how you are. So human beings are really free when they have the identity, and you cannot build the identity until you have strong sense of history, not told by Europeans, but by yourself. And I'm saying that don't begin the history from colonization and slavery, but far beyond that. Your greatness in religion, in science, in commerce, in everything. So take it upon yourself. Go and look for African writers, those who have written about our greatness, our great achievements. Study them because they did not give you that. And you cannot even fight as a president. You see, Obama came to look for his father. Obama is a serious student of African history. So he established his identity. That was why he was able to fight.
Yes.
He was not feeling funny because he understood where he positioned himself. He understood where he stood. So you are doing yourself disservice if you don't study this history. If you buy the negativity that they have put on Africa, the backwardness, the underdevelopment, the corruption, you have destroyed yourself. because you cannot disrespect your heritage and be great. It's never happened anywhere. That's why the Europeans are always talking good about the ancestors. In spite of all the evil that they have done, you still don't hear of them trying to play them and say that they were evil. They don't say that. In spite of all the evil that they have done to the world. So how come you quickly embrace all the bad things about yourself? Because you have not been taught. So study that. Go to now the internet, YouTube and everything. There's a lot of history that you can teach yourself so that you can become great. And that's where I started actually. After first degree in Ghana, there was nothing like that. So there was culture, but there was no consciousness. So I started to study. And I had no problem living in Ghana because of that kind of education. So everything that happens, I understand. So I'm not frustrated. I'm not, because of what I know. It's not because it is different in terms. It's the same situation for everybody, but it matters what you know, and what you know about yourself. And history is the beginning of education. Really, the foundation of education is history, especially the history about yourself. So if the history about yourself is weak, you are not educated. You're not educated. You can speak the English, Queen's English, and say potato and lottery. You're not educated, because education, the proof of education is that you can solve problems. Especially you put your people first. You make life convenient for your people. If you're not doing that, you're not educated. You're not educated. It also means that the foundation of education that they gave you was wrong. And I dare say that majority of us, that is really the case. And that's why the children don't want to come, because they have not been educated for themselves. They've been educated against themselves. So they think that is an opportunity to live in America, but it's not an opportunity to live in Ghana. That's not true. A lot of Chinese come here with zero, and after 10 years, they have fortune. It is what they know. Wow. It is a lie for you to believe that the world is Africa. The world has always been Africa. Europe was nothing. It didn't industrialize until they came here for centuries, for 2 centuries. Then they started to get money and they started to pick technology, wisdom. Then they industrialized. The world that you see only could industrialize because they had come to Africa. So never cut yourself from Africa. Visit. You don't have to come and live here, but visit. Come to Accra. Go to your village. Talk to your people. There's nothing like it. Don't cut yourself from here. If you want to do business, come and do business. Build industries here. The Chinese are here. The Indians are here. The Lebanese are here. The Europeans are here. And yet they continue to show on TV. Nothing is happening in Ghana. It's not true. There's a lot of wealth. Africa is the wealth of the world. In Ghana, there's no dream that you have that cannot be realized. All that you have to know is what to do with the vision that you have in Ghana. But I said it's a land of greatness. We have built businesses from zero. There is no support from government or support from any politician. It is what we know as a people, So, and there's nothing like it. I get up every day, I'm happy. Why? I'm not looking at some British man looking down upon me or some American man looking down upon me. I'm proud because this is it. And the contribution. And life goes beyond just what you eat and where you sleep. You must leave a mark. You must change somebody's life. People should look up to you and have hope. That is the greatest honor to be as a human being, changing lives. So you don't just live for yourself and say, I have a Range Rover and a car, I have a job, so that's it. No, that's miserable life. So go to your village, go to your hometown, talk to people, come, be an inspiration. And let's all build Ghana, let's all build Nigeria, let's all build our continent together, because indeed, that is all that we have. And America will respect you when Africa is great. That is a fact. That's a fact. So That's how I will conclude.
Wow. Thank you so much. This was really deep. Now, the youth or the younger generation who lives in the diaspora, Mr. Obeng Darko said something that I just want to piggyback on what he said. He said, life goes beyond what you can eat. It has to go beyond that. He is talking about making a mark. The question is, why are you on this planet? What is your mission? What are you doing here as a human being?
Yes, sir.
He also mentioned of what? Your identity or the things you know. And I have a favorite quote I usually say. I said, your level of freedom depends on the things you know. And Mr. Obeng Darko, you really nailed it. And this, because I want the youth to understand, that is why I have changed my language. And to speak in a language, if you don't speak any of the local dialect, at least Now you have heard that we have to think beyond the food we eat or the clothes we wear or the what do you call it? What I call it the non-entities where people say I have cars, I have I have buildings and stuff who have died and they buried them with what they owe or they had on this planet. You came empty, you will leave empty. But if you're able to make any impact by way of what the great one put in you, your legacy will live forever and ever. And this is why we remember Kwame Nkrumah all the time. Ebusia, and some yakos were a motu, and some of you want come a pese or better than boase. And Tibuana me cateno. Katia me catting in an answer, me pese or turn a boase. Then some of you want me or repeat it as because I think we're too deep. Me and Gasamitiano. I find they said, make me a catch up and to follow up with him. But so I don't think this will be the last program we'll do. We'll do more. Now, your friend is saying, OGB so your philosophy no is in line with this ideology with the bay. And nothing will be a tear to me who say, and Cabo here. If we say to me and Cabo, there is no way to be required, say, yeah, or maybe I friend can. Based on this negativity, any self perception, no, because maybe back from my core college, me sure essay, I'm a professor, be one of my English classes. Now, the topic was that perception. I America. Until me true or frame it, no be some say. Point be a reason why did I do all these things? Because who can move your something? I'm say yes. Me who say by yes sanity. Or produce. Until you didn't come on baby no. As some will be some and say that should be me didn't say me per se me quite on my penny Ghana na. Sabra no I was shocked and surprised. But Onu Obronino, knowing what they know, almost a nipa ukasasam. What you not be when yati.
That's right.
When himself wouldn't be able to and two Chinese for oneself. China near Bagana, zero, Onishi, and yet they will leave billionaires. Why? Because of what they know. So life is all about what you know. Knowledge is power. Send the account. Ebusia. So who share and say Utiana. OGB, agent two in a no. And nothing the movie will say will be a sacrificial generation. Even if it will cost our life, we will put our life on the line and make sure say and Chima and what they need to get. America, I mean, can we miss our last question? January 6, 2020, no 2021, and America at Tuaba. Yahano, democracy no. Sabrina, you certify your friend is saying one more. And you will be on my penny into your US Congress. Now, Omoya then one, and you be a bura. I'm saying, we ever screen so. Now, yen a torture. And now, a man, America, you will tell me if a crime has no expiration date. Into Yati children for be. Now, Bratty about what you say, a year, I wouldn't say a higher federal land. Now, a year against over a Tiamas of a call. Now, quest I was say, and some more tea will assume. Na education so say one no freedom, any liberty, any enjoyment or enjoy as we nipa ne ma wa wo no or e be say obey penny to so no o nya self freedom no and they would nem kwame so na wa fight enkrofo no at this time abrante na some kan no ade a waye no akọso no n'adwuma edan ya no timu ne mortgage ne nyina say eyi edan so no adwuma ye fa na adwuma wo America ha say no ye odwuma bi wo akwa ontimi nye ne nkwa na nyina because of a crime now committee anything. But I'm not telling you on he is willing because in your children said ne baby dachi who your freedom not with any way any idea or they think about the project, they think about the future. Ebusia, Nyanka time will be OGB is not against any race. OGB is not a prejudice organization. Ayanokura and Yaka. Nempenisi, baby, I was saying what I did to say one front to what if we talk. And we will spill the naked truth. And nothing about what will flow, me money flow, and some be what, yes, or hit it, and someone because, hey, where they dangerous and wet. Now, so, and Ukraine was working. But me, you should describe and say, we are not here to denigrate anybody. We are not here to pit one race against the other. But we are here to speak about ourselves as what? Africans, as Ghanaians, as people with a patriotic heart. Now, open here to say, Ghana, no, every dream can be real. America is a land of opportunity. Opening any you can't that for Ghana for America ha a big good year. Ghana for America ha Sabri Ebiaka. And that will lead me to my final question to you. You better come and say no opening. We come here, some of us we come here now very young. Oba so enchemeko, and so meko opening ubabeno. Not what your friend say, what you care home, and now say your friend is saying, baby, you take care of and one in Kokra. Me one penny for you are. One back on woman, wow, maybe, or better diplomacy. One going to club my eventually, or yare, a crew to the night. You charity nine, Menoka say, well, to me, I she so I will grow. And to me, system, a ship be so bad, the better baby no, na to me. And to say, I was some say, yeah, say, can you buy one? You bet to a penny be a penal, na immediately you get it off. Now you call you cheap, I call you baby all. And now say you better try. There may be area, another Jamaican area, not what more opening a friend Thomas, a watching ya, Messi, or invented fibrotic cables. If you tell all Africa, you opening to the Wyoming. Ye use soon one much said, and you may win the million anno, and in anno I yet condemned to cremble. And tis out loose and ye name says a car, but nay a month. Nay, we want to be query a car, and a general, one of you good baby, not a car, no doubt, baby. No penny, no disrespect to him. A friend Wabagana, yes, see only be. And for ma, if friends a gun, any Africa as a whole, I will be a use sooner, and we may to know. And just a say, yeah, see a beco early. And now say, yeah, chain, they retire, yes, Yaji, the social security because Ghana no emotion. Miss Rewa, where they are going to follow. Diaspora is not Motiano. It will be a Wutiano, Tiasema Penny Abekay. Now we are, concluding partner. Thank you very much.
But that's it. Me join says Ghana da wakoma so there, Africa da wakoma so there. Won't mean you so all your days there and only send money and still complain why we are not developing. You know, whatever you have, the expertise, especially your energy, to help to build something here, I think we must. In your design is your man more, you know, and man ye the nipa na chichiri. My classmates, I mean, we take also coming from almost half live outside the continent. And yet we are complaining that we are not developing. If all of us run away, who will develop here? So maybe the American say, you have to live beyond your personal comfort. Just as you said something, said the man said that he will sacrifice for the future of his children and his grandchildren. I think we must have the same mindset. We must sacrifice for the future of our children and our grandchildren. And it must go beyond our comfort. The dreams, the things that we so hold dearly, we must make sure we realize them before we leave. And so maybe the maker said, they have to look here. And if you can, come early. Ghana will be idea. So whatever you have to do to make sure that it works is our responsibility. It's nobody's responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the president or the politicians or the church leaders. It is all of us our responsibility to do whatever that we have to do wherever we are so that our country can pick. Maybe if you were there, you could stop it in your village, in your hometown. You know, maybe you are the chief. You didn't take it because you wanted to live in England. Maybe you were the headmaster of that school. You could have changed a lot of children or a lot of the students. You didn't. Maybe you should have been in parliament. You know, maybe you should have built business, built industry. So if you come and you're 80 years, you have that little energy. So I think that we must see it as a war that we all have to engage in, and we must fight to develop our country. We must be optimistic and positive. Leave the negativity for CNN and BBC. We must see the opportunities, even if it's 1%. We must see that, and we must start to talk good about ourselves and about our country. We have heard all the negatives all our lives. Let's change it. And we have to be patient with ourselves and with our people. If you miss it, who did you give the money to? Did you test him before giving him the money? Did he have the expertise to build for you? You know, so a lot of the times it's the misjudgment. I went to start a restaurant, it collapsed because the people took the money. Did you know how to manage the people? Did you learn it? The fact that you are from Ghana does not mean you know how to manage Ghanaians or manage a business in Ghana. There are processes that we have to go through and learn. So if you're people, you are not a business person in America. You came to Ghana, now you're a business person. It's a transition. It will take time. Even if you're a business person in America, running a business in Ghana is different. You know, but all of us can learn a bit and pieces and make sure that we contribute here. So don't let us give up on ourselves. We must come and contribute. It is our country. And nobody will respect us until we show up. Whenever they talk of investors, I say, but investors will not develop our country. It is us.
Yes.
Which country have the investors in developed? It is us. It's young men and women building businesses, playing their part in any organization that they work in, and having that consciousness that it is our responsibility to build our country. You know, so I would say that, Omomra, if you can, come and live beyond that. Be proud of yourself that you're contributing, you're changing something, you're significant change, like what you're doing. It is significant. You're looking back to say, what can we do? What lives can we change? What is it that we can do beyond what the politicians are doing? And these are all responsibilities. So I'm thankful for what you're doing and your heart and your spirit and all the people that you're putting together to say that we cannot sit back and watch it go into destruction. It is us. We have to do that. And it must go beyond our comfort, as I said before. So maybe so many now, or whether you are 50 or 80, look back. Don't say that people still live here anyway. Do they go hungry? They eat. You know, we have to take it upon ourselves to make sure that we change it. So the next time you come, it is not the Indians and Chinese building the big houses and running the big businesses. It must be us, Ghanaians. We must be the wealthiest in our land, if nothing at all. It can't be foreigners. And we must change that. So thank you.
Wow. I was here, and I can come. Naka programming, Kayenye, Nayan Twasso, Nanso, a penny, a draw away a better one, Now, member what my in the final word, based on commodity in our home. Messai Amma would the book on Wassam at to pay you. Miss Albina, the promise I will give is a penny for a bow. What do you mean penny for in Ghana? I've already done that. I've spoken with Director of Operations. Say, on the tea, you bedding come behind the scenes. Now, books and also, yeah, quite first one. Yes, you be promoted. I will get a copy myself. Now, me pay quite the first one. Yeah, the if we can get it online, well, but me more chance no, you can tell us so that it will be in the eye. So say, I will say you purchase by a coffee shop and so on. And then the Viasino is in our hands. A better now, relate to me eye. Now, yet to promote a book because it means I dream in him, Jenny no, with him. Africa, unfortunately, people like this, no, yeah, more bigger platform. Now, so what they want to train, Emma will be, I'm a country, so media may know you are not giving yourself any excuse. Now, when you say OGB, so you also going to be a very, very big help in terms of food because yeah, OGB, yeah, say, we don't care what you do, we don't care what you believe. Yeah, the answer, that is the first step. Say, you better make up opening the way, no. Because I believe in Kabomutino. I 100% support what you're doing. Oh, if there's anything that I can do, because I believe in unity. And Kabom was an Anauka. America, a whole wetiano. Almost is a country of Romano. A yet day one any whisker. Name was awesome. Into your man, Mutian. God of war motion. Ya Mutiamone. Momano and answer. Then penny say, Mayana Maya. Any man now. Procrastination is always a thief of time. As I see we so, the main catcher will say, "Yenny bread," as I see we so. Then penny say, "I blow away any castle." You have no idea when and that time one. Or do not know when I say, clock, no, a best stop it. If we say our time is taken every now and then, we have to strive. And what's the salary energy one? Because maybe consider our age, girl and your time on your women, and I say, so when the 40 in about 50 years to come, now it's as I see this one. Even if you're supposed to get 90 years. Nessa what the 91. Because I say and I war. I was watching Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, in Atlanta. time I be Olympics gamer. You see one koso your friend say one for you koso ejabia e could of koso. Na nipa say be no your modern for. Why I mean one of the most very famous athlete. Na nsa ewo so nsa ehyeва say ya. Na papa yi ontumi nya do benam say akomko. Ebusua men say wadaje. Men say obre. Don't waste all your time arguing, talking about and someone emfa and punto emma. And until oh my God, now put up our website. Your website in there, you can join our website at www.omaganabaku1.org. www.omaganabaku1.org. Ebusia, call na call register. Ghana for your tap to make a kind of mum. Asante Foku, Enfante Foku, Konongo, Mamprisi, your friend say, and Karafoku. Ebusia say, Sako original. Mumma share impact ye make you. Yeman kakra. But say, Sako in a bit macabo, and say we all belong to one Ghana. Ebusia and Kagana acronym. Genomayo, Nagana, my Eodia. Why the catch us a Ghana any? Why the catch us Africa, and Ghana the poorest country on earth? Say the poorest country there. For simple only one, and Tiway in the Cromo, a himfa. What is the source of the world? Why are the Indians coming there? Why are the Chinese over there? Why are the Americans over there? I didn't the company say, oh, no. And your foreigners here obey if it's poor as we think it is not. Mr. Obeng Darko, as you say, you sound negativity in every no. If we never what's about the cano? Our influence, our soul tone. Our influence, our decision making more tone. The Amabe, Aquasia, many abra, intimidate him, may have many our fidivisi way, and you as we say. Say, I'm saying, ye mano dache, ye bet trouble, baby. Ye mama san composable bill, say, we may catch over there. And to what is for Ukraine and Russia. Why are we blaming it on the later city? 820 we see about to walk 100 meters. Why? Because we don't know who we are. Because our identity, you lose your identity now. And this is what OGB is calling. All in sundry. That what we do today will determine the kind of tomorrow we want to have. I will close by saying this. What I will do was this, I will person with the wadachi. And be ya. Currently what you are doing. Into your present situation will determine the kind of tomorrow you want to see. If you want to see a better Ghana, join this course. Mama join me Obeng Darko. Mama join Obeng Darko. Not together, no, you march forward. Send a Kwame Nkrumah, and I quote, was say, forward ever, backwards never. And together we will move and we will head on, and Ghana will be okay. So what you are saying is that we will comment. I was here. Now, call register to our website. Mr. Obeng Darko, but remember the final word. So we are, let's say, program no, abane here. What I remember, we could not pass our account at once and bio. And social media handles so, what they also best at to debut. Now, you didn't come over which what I want to, I'll give you the final,
Okay, me that's pa Mr. Akwa and Omangana back of it. My books no benya bi hard copy ewo Ghana here. Your shops no envy or malls no or Ghana. Oko Amazon Kindle so ni nyina ewo ho. Perspective, Streamline, Resilience ni nyina ewo Amazon Kindle. My website obendarko.com.gh. We have courses there as well, and the books you can purchase from there as well. YouTube channel, we have a lot of information on Obeng Darko, and Facebook is the same. Or basically, that is it. And because Ghana, we can change the narratives. It is our responsibility. It is our duty to change that. Our greatest fight is the mindset of our people. That's our greatest fight. How we see ourselves. And so the moment we attack that, all the other things can fall. So thank you.
So thank you very much. Our greatest fight is our mindset.